Hello everyone, it's MKO here. Welcome to something different. So let's get started, shall we? So, MyHouse.wad is a game paying tribute to the Dead Friends creator. The only thing the creator said he's done is to polish it. And before I start analyzing the game, I'm going to give you a recap about the game and the story. So, the game already hits us with something. Well, really two things, because, well, first, the game is named MyHouse.wad because it was his friend's house, which is kind of obvious. But the second thing is how slightly long it does take for it to load compared to other Doom mods. I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this, so let's get started on the story, shall we? So, we start off on the outside of the house, and our hero, who we'll name Player, decides to go inside. There's demonic entities in the house, like most Doom mods, so after our player unlives them, we go outside to see what we can find. And something hits us. We look out one of the windows outside and see that all the entities have been revived, even though there was none still living when we went out. As our player is surprised by this, he goes back inside to make sure he isn't seeing things. After finishing a few more off, he gains access to a minigun. After a little bit, the music stops. Our player makes sure that everyone isn't alive anymore, so he checks everywhere so he doesn't have to deal with them. And soon he finds a skull, but the thing is, that skull wasn't there before. Afterwards, he soon finds another one. Difference? This one is blue. Well, let's get wait a minute. The exit is gone? What happened? Seems like everything is so slightly changing. Worried, he keeps on looking over and rechecking as many doors over and over to find an exit, but can't seem to find one. So let's recap that. So every time he moves to somewhere different or explores somewhere else compared to the last room, and goes back to that room, it seems like something changes each time. It is similar to what it previously was, but different. It really shouldn't be possible doing too many Doom maps using a 2D map to create 3 prisms. So stairs really shouldn't be possible unless you want to get creative about that. So let's continue the story. Soon after he checks the house, he finds 2 doors near each other, going similar directions, but leading to different rooms? Impossible both in-game and reality. This game seems to break both reality and the game. He checks the second room, finding really nothing. He decides to exit it, but now there's a third room? How? Now where the third room takes our player is similar to the house, just somewhat inverted. After almost having a crisis because he can't find anything new, the player finds a bookshelf. It seems like it is covering an entrance. Opens it, and it takes him to a power switch, which our player flips. And boom, everything goes dark. Screaming, screeching. It's almost unbearable. As he tries to figure out where he is, he exits the room. The music is dead silent. Only the noise still screaming and new entities. Except these ones aren't from Doom. They don't even look like they were made in Doom. As he goes back upstairs in hopes to calm the screaming, he finds the house. It's in a ruin. A few more entities and now, instead of the blue cloudy sky, it's crimson red. As our player gets concerned on what the hell is going on, he continues downstairs and hopes he didn't miss anything. Hopefully there's a logical explanation for this, even if it seems far off. He goes in a room and the sky has changed again. The music is different now. It's almost frightening. Everything seems to be changing. I don't think it's going to get better from here on out. Later, a player finds another room. It's also different from the original, but similar. This time it's a major hotel complex. As our player explores, he hears a bark, finding an entity, but this one is friendly compared to the others. Well, at least he won't be alone anymore. While digging deeper in one of the rooms, he spots something. Next room seems to be another entity, but as soon as we see it, it disappears in the halls. Next room he finds takes him to a staircase, which leads to another entrance. While exploring this room, he finds a vault. Curious, he decides to open it, which is pretty jam-packed with ammunition, health, and another minigun. Whatever entity that was is going to have a rough time with him. As he explores the complex, going deeper and deeper with his trusty minigun, the player spots another hostile entity. Even for how demonic looking it is, it looks similar to his companion. Say, where's that dog anyway? Well, whatever, he has to end this demonic creature's life before it ends his first. And after a long, brutal fight, our player won. While looking for his dog, he finds a corpse. Wait a minute. It's the dog? What the hell? How did it die? What happened to you? Our player deeply regrets his actions and unaliving the creature because it ended the dog's life with it. As our player explores deeper and deeper regretting his actions, he finds a pit. Reluctantly, he falls down it. He needs to explore this hellhole in hopes to heal himself from his actions. After longer exploring and finding nothing but the corpses, he finds another pit. Hoping to not see those again and forget what he did, he quickly falls down it. He finds another room. Even more curious, he decides to explore it. But every time he goes deeper into the room, it seemingly takes him back to the entrance of it, like a loop of some sorts. He decided that the only way to keep going was to take the other doorway. After checking it out, he notices that he is in an airport, but wasn't he in a hotel complex? At least it seems less, well, empty, even when no one is there. After going into another doorway, which leads into an airplane, after a short period of time in the airplane, with no exit, it seems entities start spawning. Demonic, ghost-like entities. As they spawn one by one, he kills each of them. After a short time, he finds an open doorway. How is it? He's an airplane. Wouldn't he fall down already? Well, it seems like our player does want to fall down. As he falls down, he goes down to the abyss. A second later, he spawns back to the original house with no entities, nothing, just the abandoned house. As he exits, he turns around. The music stops. The house is gone. The land it was on is now up for sale. So there's a lot to take in, and I mean a lot. Number one, the music changes a lot. And something interesting is in the Google Drive that it takes you to when you download it. I will show a few screenshots and images from it, but I recommend you check it out for yourself. I'll link it in the description. But there's a journal in that Google Drive which explains how he was checking on his friend's family, and that after the funeral they gave him discs and artwork of his friend's old Doom mods. Which leads here today. Now let's start explaining with something simple. How and why does both the dog and creature die when you unalive one of them? Well, simply put, they're most likely connected, but probably not in a good way. You see, you can only really face the entity whenever, number one, the dog is nearby, and number two, it's in an area the dog can't reach. So why is this, you may ask? I don't have enough evidence on this, mainly because we got the bad ending. There's many other endings and secrets that I just can't explain in one episode, so it's hard to explain the exact reason, but we can get something simple. It's probably like a good side of something and something bad. Now let's explain another thing. How can the house change multiple times over and over? From my standpoint, it's each time it gets worse and worse and worse. Each new phase the house goes through. These are probably how the house gets abandoned and no one owned it for so long that they had to sell the land where the house was. And I don't think our player really liked that much, so he had to leave it to a hotel of sorts. Pretty far away, considering to get back to the house, we gotta go into an airplane. And the entities, how can entities that don't exist in Doom work in this mod? Well, I have many theories on this. A lot of please don't sue me pet theories. But I'm trying not to lean in on the possessed side, so the entity is probably for something larger. This is because we see another entity that doesn't appear often. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking about our friendly neighborhood pet, I mean, the hotel complex stalker. We don't get a lot about him, and he is very different from the creature that is connected to the dog, so I'm taking a guess. So take it with a grain of salt. But he's probably either a minion of some sort or something else entirely. Or at least that's what I think. I haven't gone that far in it, but he is either a minion or someone. He might be the main person we find, hotels, or he may be just a secret. Now, putting many other things together and looking at the end we got, I could probably recap on what happened. So our player or someone else had something bad happen to them. Maybe it was some tragic night or something else. This can lead into the screaming we hear after the power goes out. After checking on it, it spooked him quite a bit. Reluctantly, he had to move somewhere safer, because the longer he stayed there, everything will change more and more, like a liminal space. So he left, went somewhere similar to the house except it's a hotel. He gets the call that he can go back, so he checks out in the airport and flies away. But since we see entities there, it probably wasn't his best flight. So after leaving, when he enters the house, it's well, it's not the same. Leads him to selling the land that he once called my house. I honestly like MyHouse.wad because of how it tells a story in a weird yet sad way. I wanted to make this for a long time now, for at least 2 months, because of how brilliant the map creator is and his friend. This is honestly one of my favorite things of storytelling, gameplay, and liminal it is. It feels off, like something isn't right from the beginning, which really makes me enjoy it. I never really played any Doom games before, nor the 90s one, but this really gets me to enjoy it because it shows how passionate people from the fandom are about their games. It goes to show how great the Doom fandom is. Anyways, for the people that are still here, well, first, what? I thought you'd be gone by now, but thank you staying till the end. I'm gonna try and recap the other endings, secrets, and other games because I really enjoyed making this video. So if you enjoyed it as well, why not like, subscribe, and if you also want, you can donate to me in my Cash App or comment. So I'll see you in another commentary or recap video. Bye.